Hey everyone, Rohan Dhawan here, founder of UAbility, and today we have one of our clients here of our program, UAbility Elite, Hansika here. And again, she has achieved some really awesome results in the restaurant niche as a digital marketer. Now, before I get into the results and everything, Hansika, if you don't mind, can you just give everyone a little bit background about yourself so that everyone knows like who you are, what do you do, and how did you get into this digital marketing field?
Yeah, sure. So I am basically 24 years old. I joined UAbility 1 year back. And my work life started when I graduated and I got campus placed and I got my first job and then I worked with the company for a few months and then I switched my job and then I started working with another company. Then I quit my job to prepare for CAT. And during that break, when I was preparing for CAT, that's when I found UAbility and the program, and that's when my life sort of changed. And yeah, so that's like the short story. And how I got into digital marketing, I think in my first job was about Google Ads. Okay, that is what we were working on. So because of that training that I got over there, I had pretty much some idea like about what is it that can be done with the internet and marketing and stuff like that. But I was still pretty clueless, okay. But the when I joined the program, that's where I actually started with marketing and digital marketing, and I started working with clients. And when I was young, when I was still studying, that's when I actually did a few internships and I did some social media marketing stuff, but that was pretty basic. So
Right.
that's how I got started.
Got it. That's pretty interesting. I remember, I think a year back or something, you were like checking out Udemy courses, and I'm sure that you,
That's
uh,
that's when I found you. So since I was preparing for CAT and I had
yeah,
like a lot of time in my hands, so I just thought like it's the best time for me to build some skills and like explore new things. And when I watched your video, it was on Shopify,
yeah,
and right after watching that video, I was like, I want my own store now, and मेरे logo वोगो भी final कर दिया था अपना.
wow,
Then I found you on Facebook, and that's when I read your ability. Then I clicked on it and I watched the video. So I stalked you like thoda sa, before actually booking a call with you. Then I think I texted you and then we had a small chat and then I watched the video. And right after watching the video, I was sold, like that call was not even required. I watched the video and I was like, this is exactly what I want to do right now. Yeah.
awesome. But I'm like really curious to know since you got into drop shipping and starting your store and whatever. How did you decide that rather than doing that I should probably become a consultant?
So when I spoke to you on the call, I told you where I was coming from and I told you like about my plan, and it honestly did not make any sense. Now when I look back at it, I know that it was just simple. I don't know what I was going through, but I told you what my plan was, and but like after our call, you told me that instead of going down that road, you should do this, like step one, step two, step three, step four. And that made much more sense to me. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. So maybe I should do that instead of sticking to my vague plan.
Got it. Are you still preparing for CAT or have you dropped that idea?
No, dropped it big time. I have no idea why I was doing it. So see, since I was jobless, I just thought, okay, see, I did not want to go for like another interview because of my bad past experience with the company. So I was not in the right mind space, and so I just thought since I'm free, I should prepare for my CAT since everybody was telling me so. And yeah, that was about it. And like even when I was preparing for the test, I didn't feel as if that this is something that I am meant to do. Like I wasn't enjoying it.
Hmm.
But when I joined the program, I think my mindset changed, and I just realized that what I will learn here will be much more than some stupid cat exam.
Hmm. Got it. And one thing that I want to know is like, did you always like had this idea on the back of your head that you wanted to start your own business, or it's only after joining Uability and whatnot you decided that I should start my business?
I think a few months back, when I got on a call with you, few months back, I was actually talking to a friend of mine
Hmm.
who used to work with me in my first job.
Right.
And we got connected after 2 years, and he was telling me how he has started his own marketing agency, and
Hmm.
now he has a team of 30 people, stuff like that, like all the fancy things, okay?
Hmm.
And I was so shocked. I was like 2 years back, we were on the same desk, on the same damn payroll. How
Hmm.
can he be on his own and I am still clueless as to what is going on in my life? So I was thinking to myself that if he can do it, I can do it too. But I did not know as to where to get started. Like, what is it that I'm
Supposed
supposed
to
to do?
do.
What is the step one, step two, step three?
Hmm.
So I'm so fortunate that I found the program, and here everything was very well structured, and you just know that ठीक है मेरे को अब ये करना है तो मेरे को वो करना है, and stuff like that. So that's like the background story.
Awesome. Cool. So then decided to book a call with us. Were you seeing like ads or anything else of like other courses, or like were you considering any other options before, or this is like
No,
all you found?
no. It was only because I was talking you that I got the profile, the website link. So I
Hmm.
did not see like any ads or anything. But right after like I watched the video, there were like emails from you, I
Hmm.
think.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's about it. Nothing.
Got it. Okay, so then you joined the program, right? And like, quick question, because a lot of people who are kind of in your scenario, I'm sure that this tip would be helpful. Considering that our fee wasn't like few $100 like for a Udemy course, so at that time, how did you arrange, or how did you like convince yourself that I should like invest in myself to do this?
As I said, I was already sold, and money was not a problem. Like, I knew that I just have to go for it. Like, money was never a problem for me. But for those who are actually like, it, having those thoughts as to कि पैसे कहाँ से लाऊं या stuff like that. See, I don't know actually. I've not been in that situation, so I can't say much. But I actually went to my mom and I told her like, okay, ये program hai and I wish to get started with it. So she was really glad to hear that because she has been working all her life, okay,
Hmm.
and something like this coming from me that I want to be on my own, she was very glad about it.
Wow.
So she was like, okay, please go, do what you think is right. So that's
Yeah.
how the conversation went.
I mean, that's pretty like, surprising, because, most Indian parents, they're like, you want to start your own business? Like, are you crazy? You should like
But
just.
I'll tell you what, once I gave the cat, and after that, she was like, okay, ये तो, like, she thought कि side में कुछ चल रहा है, but main priority will be cat and
Yeah.
her studies.
Hmm.
So, like, after 6 months, she took a very big, hit ki, okay, ye kya chal raha hai? But after that, when she actually saw how much am I making and things are going pretty well, so she started supporting me and even my dad. But like
Nice.
it took them some time to digest the fact that
Yeah.
okay, she's actually on her own and she is not looking to get employed.
Hmm. Did you have to do like any kind of convincing to them afterwards? Yeah, it just automatically happened.
So we had like a big fight, and I
Okay.
just locked myself up in my room. That's what happened.
Okay. So there was like a huge thing. So that took like
Yeah.
convincing as well, right?
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it. But then I'm sure, like, now at this point of time, considering like she's seeing your results and everything, I'm sure that, you don't have to fight anymore and she's like supporting
Absolutely.
the idea.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Awesome. Awesome. That's like pretty amazing. Any tips you would like to give to, anybody watching who's like really struggling to convince their parents to, that they want to start a business and like follow that path as compared to following the traditional path? Any tips you would like to give to those students who are planning to do so or planning to convince their parents?
I think the first step is to obviously talk to them and make them understand. If they're not understanding at all,
Then lock
at the
yourselves.
huh? Yeah, yeah, that is something that they can try. But I think just yeah, I mean, talking to them is the biggest thing that you can do. Like trying to like explain them as to what is it that they plan to do with their life, or at the end of the day maybe they can just make you talk to their parents and you can do the convincing. Yeah.
Right. Got it. Cool. So, Hansika, let's talk about what happened after you paid the money, right? So, you got access to the program, you got access to everything, right? Then what happened? How did you go about, number one, finding this niche all the way to, signing your first client? What happened? Like, tell me about the journey.
When I was on your first lecture, you said something like think about that one industry with the which you have worked with in the past. And since I was a part of Zomato, I had worked with this industry, so I just knew their pain points, and that's how I just thought um, since it was just the starting, I just thought, okay, let's just try with that. But I'm so glad that I did not feel the need to switch my niche.
Hmm.
So that's how I finalized my niche. And when I started the course, I was starting like for 3 weeks. Then in the last week of the month, I started doing sales calls. Okay.
Hmm.
And I did like about 10 calls. And after that, I was able to land my first client.
Wow.
And no, it was not wow. It was like the most scariest thing that I
Really?
had done in my life, doing sales calls. So since I was a complete fresher,
Fresher.
okay, I had no clue like how to do sales calls and stuff like that. So it was a very scary thing that I did. But then after that, after I landed my client, my cat was like due in 2 months, my test. So I just thought that I will keep on working with the client and I will study. So then
Hmm.
I stopped with my calls. Then after 2 to 3 months, when I was done with the test, I started again with my sales calls, and then I did them for like 3 weeks straight, rigorous sales calls every day, like 5 calls every day and stuff like that. Then I was able to land a few good clients.
Hmm.
And then in the month of January, I just felt the need, okay, maybe like I need help now. So that was the first time when I uh, hired somebody full time.
Hmm.
And that's where the journey like officially began, and money started coming in, clients started coming in. I was getting comfortable with doing calls, and yeah, that's what happened after I joined.
Got it. I think one question that I'm sure everybody would love to hear your answer on is, when most people get started, like this fear of doing sales calls, just like how you are saying, right? And
Yeah,
I'm sure that, it was probably like at the start, it's like a painful
nightmare.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you overcome that nightmare and how did you really just decide that, I have to do it and you did it and you eventually ended up signing clients? Like, how did you go about doing that?
See, when you actually check out the course and everything, you go through the mindset lecture, also mindset week. But when it comes to actually picking up the call and dialing the number and talking to the client, it's still scary like that. You are not able to think about the mindset week, okay? But that's when I actually started talking to the members of the UAbility community. I think that was like the biggest help. When you talk to people who are in the same boat as you,
Hmm.
that's when you get the most strength, because now you know that you are not the like only one who is struggling. There are people who are in the same boat, and even they are trying, and if they can do it, I can do it too.
Hmm.
So I think the members have played like a big role in my success and growth.
Got it. So I think it's like the community and maybe the mindset lectures that really helped you throughout
Absolutely.
this process.
Both the things both.
Got it. So then, one thing that I would like to know is, how did you go about generating these calls, or how did you go about generating your, or appointments? Because like a lot of people struggle with marketing in the initial days. So what method or platform worked for you really well?
Facebook groups was something that worked the best for me. I went and wrote like a simple text, and right there I got like 30 leads. So
Wow.
I was booked for the next whole week. It was like just one simple post and I got so many leads.
Got it. And then, you did those calls and everything, and you landed that first client of yours. How was that
Yeah.
feeling like, and what happened on that day?
It was crazy. Like, I could not believe that I have a client now. It felt unreal. And then, like, the work started immediately. Okay, so then I was thinking about the work, what is to be done, and stuff like that. Of course, it was a wonderful feeling to have.
Awesome. And I hope like your parents were proud of you, you know, on that particular day, or maybe at least now.
Yeah, yeah, they
Cool.
are, they are, they definitely are.
Awesome. Cool. So that happened. And Hansika, once you sign that client, another thing that a lot of people struggle with, especially as a fresher, is the delivery part because, they're like, now I have the client, what do I do now? So, how did you go about even managing that process, after joining the program?
I think everything is there in program. Okay, you don't need to like be scared as like as to what is it that I'm supposed to do, because you can just go to the program and over there you can find step 1, step 2, step 3, or you can also talk to the community members as to okay, I am stuck here, what should I do? And yeah, so that's what worked for me basically.
Got it. And especially, I think when you start working with us, COVID was just like going on. So the restaurant industry wasn't like, doing like super great. So, how did you still manage to, work with these clients and get them business and everything?
Yeah, I think when things were going really well in the starting of 2021, that's where the second wave came, and 90% of my clients like left. But it was not a shock to me because 6 months back I was at zero clients. So I have seen myself build this thing from scratch. So I was not scared. And again, it's like a mindset thing. So that is when I started working with a few marketing agencies and I started sharing projects with them. So just to make sure that I am not out of work, even though like
Exactly.
all my clients are gone.
Collaborations, right?
Right.
Got it. Cool. And Hansika, like, what were you able to like achieve when it comes to like monetary wise? Like, how much were you doing before joining the program, and after working with all these clients, how much have you brought your income up to per month now?
When I was not a part of viewability, I wasn't making money because I was preparing for my cat. But my last job paid me like 50K-ish per month. It was my second job, and with incentives, I used to go up to like 75K. That was the maximum that I've earned. Then when I joined Viewability, I think let's start from January because that is when I actually started doing sales and everything. So like after 3 weeks of sales and everything, I was making 50K. That was the first month. then the next month, like the revenue went up and I started making it 70, 80K. Then the next month it was 1.2 lakhs.
Wow.
Then the second wave came. But even then the um, uh, revenue was not zero. I was still making I don't know the figure. Okay, I didn't keep the track. And now this month I'm again making 1.1, 1.2 ish. So
Wow.
we are back to that level where we was
Right.
when there was no second wave.
Yeah, and firstly, congratulations, Hansika. Like that's like phenomenal, especially from like what you started off at, like complete fresher to doing 1.2 a month. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
And the other thing is, most people think that business is like risky or unsecure, but think about this. When the COVID thing happened, you were still making income, whereas a lot of people lost their
yeah. It
jobs,
was.
right?
Yeah, right.
So I personally believe like the security issue is in like everything, whether it's a job or a business. So the fact that you were able to control your income regardless is probably the reason why I prefer entrepreneurship, and I think you've done a great job. Congrats again.
Absolutely. And also, like, I feel it's all about the mindset, how you look at things when things are going down the drain. It's all about how you jump back and start fighting again. I think it's all about the mindset. And as I said, that I've been talking to like a few members of the UAbility community, and they have really, showed me the beautiful way of working and how to get back on your feet. And of course, I can
What's like the best
look up to
advice you got from a UAbility member?
निशांत से मैं बात करती हूँ. ओके, सो ही इज लाइक कि मैं कह रही हूँ कि अच्छा क्लाइंट्स नहीं है, ही भी लाइक तो क्या हो गया, सेल्स कॉल करो. सो ही इज वेरी प्रैक्टिकल दैट वे. So
Yeah.
that's like the best thing. Okay, like no struggle is too big here. Everything can be done. And when I look at you, when I look at Pratham, I think there is so much for me to learn from you guys, like the way you think, like the way you work, not only work-wise, but personally also you can think like that and be okay. Yeah.
Got it. I completely agree. Like, and I love this practical approach because most people think with emotions like, oh, something is not working. But
I
when you,
am super emotional, okay? So this UAbility has practically like improved my life big time, because I was always driven by like emotions and crying all the time. Kya karu? I'm stuck and stuff. So I'm coming from that background.
right? I mean, that's amazing. Like, according to you, what would be like the number one thing that you have learned from this program that has not only just altered your professional life, but even, personal, like both things?
Declutter your life. That is one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself. Declutter.
Exactly. Get rid of the stuff that's
Distractions.
exactly
Yeah,
that's not benefiting you.
absolutely.
Got it.
That drains you basically. So
Yeah, including social media, which ironically we promote.
yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. So for like one whole year, I was off Instagram. I was like this Instagram queen, okay. And then when the reality struck me, I just realized that okay, this is not for me. I have to get going in life and be on the right path and do something with my business.
Absolutely. Cool. That's like amazing. And what do you think was like the happiest day, since the time you actually joined? What was like your best memory, if you can recall?
I think the best day was when I landed a client that was paying me 30K. That was like the first time somebody was willing to pay me that much. So that was like the biggest thing. That was like back in February 2021.
Right.
So that was like a very big deal. I was like, ये कैसे हो गया? Because it was the first time I was experiencing such a thing. and now it's a normal thing. But back then it was a huge deal. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I mean, I totally understand for somebody, and I'm assuming like you don't meet these clients, you close them on the phone, right? Or
yeah,
Zoom, right?
I've not met uh,
Single
like any
client.
of my clients as
Yeah.
of now.
And this is like another misconception people have that you need to get an office and you need to meet the client before they actually pay you
That's
money.
true.
So
That's true.
here's like a living proof that you don't actually need to do that. Like, was it weird or what? How did you feel like, oh, somebody just transferred me money and I have not met them?
Yeah, that was funny and weird. But then at the same time, right? You have a client now, so you don't think about okay, it's weird or it's funny. You just have
To deliver now.
money now, so it's everything good.
Got it. I would also like to know about I think you hired somebody as well to do some work for you.
Yeah, it was a graphic designer.
Okay.
He's still with me, and yeah,
Awesome. That's like another achievement for you.
yeah, it was a big deal back then because
Yeah.
I was still 23 years old, so I was not expecting to hire somebody of my age, you
Hmm.
know, doing some work for my clients. So it was
Right.
a new experience.
How did you go about finding them? Because like a lot of people struggle with that as well.
As I said that I have been talking to like a lot of people,
Hmm.
and so when you talk to people, okay, this is what I need, and yeah, so that's where like somebody just told me that okay, there is this guy who's looking for a job in.
Oh, so like online only. You didn't like meet this person or know them from the past.
No,
Okay.
no, not at all.
Got it. Awesome, Hansika. Now, just a couple of questions I had before I let you go. Hansika, if you could just go back in time and talk to that Hansika, 1 year back, like, who I had a call with. What advice or tip would you give to that Hansika to really figure things out?
Um, I think I would like to tell myself that just stick to one thing, face your fears. That's like the biggest thing.
Hmm.
And talk to more and more people. Like, don't be scared of talking to people because I was very uh, naive, okay, and my mind was like completely shut. But when you actually talk to people who are doing so well in their lives, you get an opportunity to learn so much from them and how they face their fears when they were young and when they were just starting off.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's one thing, and also that there's a long way to go. Right now, also there's a long way for me to go, but I'm so glad that I got started and things went well.
Yeah, and considering that like what you're doing, you probably would have gotten this increment at age 28 or 30, and
Probably,
you would
yeah,
have had to wait for so long. And by the time you're 28 and 30 and you stick with this business, I'm sure that what you'll be doing is worth a lot, right?
right. That's
Awesome. So, Ansika, anybody watching this video, maybe let's say they own a restaurant or maybe they are, in the hospitality industry and they are looking to actually get help. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
so. My company's name is The Marketing Co. I'll send you the link of the website, and you can just drop it down, and then like over there, they can book a call with me, and I'll be
Awesome.
happy to help.
Cool. So I'll take the link from Hansika and I'll put it in the chat below or the description below. By all means, go check her out. She's like pretty good at what she does. That's the reason why she has clients who are paying her decent as well. And I'm sure that she could help you out with your needs as well. Hansika, just before you go, anybody watching this video, let's say that they are on the fence of joining Uability. They're thinking, should I do this? Would this really help me out? Or is this going to be a waste or, a scam or something like that? So what would you like to say to them?
I think it's the best thing that you can do for yourself right now. So
Wow.
just go for it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Hansika. Like, obviously for the kind words and congrats again for achieving the results that you have. 1.2. You're still 23, right?
And 24 now.
Okay, 24. So 24 age still, 1.2 lakhs in a month, per month. And, slowly, gradually, hopefully this will increase as well. So congrats again. And hopefully in the future, when you'll be just don't get bothered if after like 5 years I'll contact you again for another interview because you have achieved more results. Right?
Yeah, no problem. Looking forward to it.